What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Frustrated Grad podcast. Today's episode is a special episode because as usual, I'm joined by my co-host, writer Tony Hoffman, but I'm also joined by a friend of ours, went to school with us, human being, Alli Klein.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on.
Hey, thanks for coming.
All right, so um, for anybody who is new to the podcast, I will reiterate a point that I've made in the past. But the Frustrated Grad podcast is about more than just being a frustrated grad. It's about the opinions, the feelings, the thoughts, and the lives of a few people who happen to be frustrated grads.
I thought it was all just about complaining about, student loans and lack of jobs and living a depressing, disappointing life post college.
I mean, of course, that's part of it because that's part of the life of a frustrated grad. But we have uh, more to say to the world than just "Meh, I'm mad." So,
Well,
yeah,
that is surprisingly good to hear.
yeah, and okay. Before we get into the meat of the show, let's talk about uh, Allie name shaming the podcast. She's like, "Is it still called the Frustrated Grad Podcast?" Even
I mean,
though,
we're almost 10 years out from having graduated. So I'm like, where do you graduate next to? Like, what is the level of frustration,
It,
I
I
guess?
mean, I mean, I
this will be the
extend.
name of the show when we're senior citizens.
I mean, I extended it beyond the initial premise because I continued to be a grad because then I was a frustrated grad student, and then I was once again a grad, and proceeded the life of frustration from there. But the thing I said, like I said to Allie on our text, but we'll always be grads, so it's not a status
That's
that
true.
ends per se.
Touche. Right.
I mean,
I,
sometimes I
I
wish I could turn in my degree and get my money back, but I'm still a grad.
I guess I could go with I'm still frustrated because my husband is still a student and he's still pursuing his bachelor's degree. So
Hey, it's it's a lifelong process. When you
that's
stop
true too.
learning,
So yeah.
when you stop learning, you can stop being frustrated about it. But to kick off the show, that's our symbol to kick off.
Mr. Call, but when we look at this message, we'll try to get back to you as soon.
Ignore my answering machine.
So do you have to turn the tape over, sir? Your
It's digital.
answering machine. All right. Okay. I was worried there. I
Or my
thought,
voicemail. Better.
yeah, I thought
Yeah.
I thought George Costanza was gonna run in and try to switch out the tape before you heard it.
But you didn't hear the Greatest American Hero thing. So.
Yeah, believe it or not, Tony isn't at home, so leave a message after the beep. Where could I be? All right.
That's actually one of the only Seinfeld episodes that I've watched the whole way through, and I get
How
made
dare
fun of
you?
for that all the time.
Yes, and it will
That's no big
continue
deal.
on this episode. How dare you, Allie? That
I'm
is
sorry.
it is
I
American
haven't. I've
treasure.
started Curb Your Enthusiasm though, so I'm sort of.
Okay, that's
All
like
right.
advanced Seinfeld, so I guess I'll give you some credit for that.
I didn't start watching Seinfeld until like it was in syndication and like the reruns and stuff. So don't feel too bad.
Yeah, I watched it. I mean, that's probably where I completed, like, I've seen every episode at this point. But like when Seinfeld was on prime time, everybody else in my house was watching Martin, so I wasn't at the forefront of the uh, trend.
You
But
were also 9.
yeah, that
Yeah,
doesn't
that's a
mean I
big
can
part of it.
appreciate
Age.
comedy about nothing.
Like the contest and what that meant, and
Oh,
you know.
I knew because
Oh, good.
I was one to ask questions, and it's
Wow.
like master of your domain. What does that mean?
Yada yada yada.
Hey, yada yada. The best part. Well, I talked about the dinner. All right, this is not a
This is all
Seinfeld
flying over
podcast.
Allison's head.
This is not a Seinfeld podcast, but I do have a Seinfeld podcast I can recommend if you want to do a catch up. But yeah, this week we're talking about things other than Seinfeld. A lot of stuff is going on in the world. A lot of stuff. Few grads might have some opinions about.
The
Um,
one question that I have to ask right now is Allison dressed like a woman?
Very good question.
Ah,
Very important question.
appropriate to
Very
what
important.
the latest headline I woke up to was hashtag yes I am.
What does
Good.
that mean, dressed like a woman?
I mean, I
You
think
know,
it's a mandate from our wonderful
The
president.
leader of the
Who,
free world?
yeah.
yes,
Well, I mean, all the women that are responding are showing him what dressing like a woman means because they're showing pictures of themselves in their astronaut uniforms, in
Yes.
their police uniforms, in their firefighting uniforms. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it applies to way more than what he thinks it means.
Yes.
yeah, I would love if all of the women staffers in the White House just walked around in astronaut suits. So like, well, this is what you said, sir. I'm dressing like a woman.
Oh, did you see that photo that was going around from like what was it, Sweden or whatever? Like the leader of Sweden is a woman, and she had all of
Yeah.
her like female counterparts around her signing a document about like environmental stuff, and
Okay.
it was in direct correlation to that picture of Trump signing the thing with all the guys standing around about the
Yeah, it's great
uh
timing for the
yeah.
synergy.
Right.
Uh, but yeah, there's
I'm just trying to think like does he
so
mean
much.
like pantsuits, or does he mean
I
like
I
No,
think
I'm pretty
he
sure
skimpy
specifically
outfits
is
and
I think he
outlawing
means like a
pants.
bikinis?
skirt or a
Oh,
dress. Like
Yeah,
women should not wear pants or something.
oh,
yeah,
Yeah.
he's of that mindset because
Well,
that's
yeah.
yeah. I think he's looking for the anti-Hillary in his for everybody in his immediate vicinity. He wants. You may know that our president is a fan of grabbing them by the pussy, so easier access is preferred.
Right.
every every day, like when I get on Facebook or Twitter, I just get so I even get like a little physically just sick. Like my head starts to hurt whenever I have to see like what new horrible
I think we
thing is
lost you a
said or
little.
done
There
to
you go.
destroy like international relations and domestic relations. Just
Yeah, it's
make it stop.
yeah. It's one of those situations where you say, "I'm genuinely never bored, but I wish I was." Like
Because
this is
it's
very
like he
scary.
doesn't. It's clear that he doesn't care about breaking any laws or you know
Oh
pissing on the
no,
Constitution.
no.
So
I mean,
so now
you might also know that he's a fan of piss. If the documentation is to be
allegedly,
believed,
allegedly,
allegedly.
allegedly.
Um, but yeah. So um, I I like where people are taking the whole dress like a woman thing because it's ridiculous and
Mm.
it needs to be thrown back in his face.
I was
But
gonna say, like, no wonder, like, Fox News is like his favorite news station. I mean, they have a lot of the same dress codes there.
it has the
Yeah.
same dress code and they have
Yeah.
it's like they have a cloning machine
The
somewhere.
fembots, the
Yeah,
Stepford
just
wives.
like okay, blonde. You have
Yeah.
a minimum of this height. Okay, push
Yeah.
print.
Hmm.
Hey,
Yeah,
let's
we
get
lost
another
Megan
one.
Kelly, but we can replicate her. So
Right.
We lost Megan Kelly, who's moving into. I mean, I guess it's daytime, so it's arguably a
Taking.
more legitimate position. Taking job from Tamron Hall.
Yeah. Wasn't that bullshit?
Yeah,
yeah,
Chicago's own Tamron Hall
Right. Yeah. Let's
was
just
replaced.
whitewash all of the Today Show.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
I mean, this is Trump's America, so
Right. Yeah.
you have to make the television pleasing for him. If he just happens to flip through at 9 o'clock in the morning to NBC, like, oh, okay, I'm all right with this. Even though he, he has had his own feud with Megyn Kelly, but still the image is more pleasing to the eye. I'm
I
assuming.
just I'm interested to see just how successful this is going to be because she's a very like a divisive
Yeah,
personality and like daytime TV, especially like on in that sort of arena in that time slot is
yeah, it's an
very
odd
sort of like
choice.
soft and
Yeah.
very cooking segments and celebrities and stuff, and to have like her own political type
yeah,
show there.
it's odd outside of the format of like something where it's like a panel discussion where it's like, okay, she represents a view in a group of others. Seems like she's just been given a spotlight like in the middle of this what was a normal like general news program. But I guess I'll let's see how it turns out. As long as I can still see Kathy Lee and Hoda get shit
Be
faced on
drunk.
television
Drunk, box wine
at 10
drinking.
o'clock,
Yep.
then I'm still okay. But
Well, hey guys, the Super Bowl is tomorrow. Aren't you
oh,
excited? You big football fans?
you
Yeah,
just
sports
reminded me.
ball. Woo.
Yes, and that was a great transition, and it
Thank you.
reminded me of something. The last time that Allie was a guest on the Frustrated Grad podcast, it actually
Many,
was
many moons ago.
yeah, it was like 6 or 7 years ago. It was actually
Yeah.
on Super Bowl Sunday,
Oh,
and
that's right.
none of us had realized it.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's how much of sports fans we are.
Nerds.
Even with Dale,
Yeah.
who was like out of the three of us, he's the person who's most into sports because he actually plays basketball
Yes.
and stuff.
Oh,
But
yeah.
none of us realized it was actually Super Bowl Sunday. Uh, we wonder why it was so empty on the streets when we took our cover photo in front of the slow children playing sign. But
Oh, yeah. Because everybody was inside eating Super Bowl food and watching the game. Yeah.
eating the nachos and things like that.
So I take it neither of you are going to be watching the Super Bowl tomorrow. So I have a list of some alternative programming tomorrow. There will be
All right.
various marathons and other distractions that the other networks will be airing.
Ah.
Like
yeah.
the Puppy Bowl?
Obviously, that's airing from between I think during from
Halftime,
3
I think.
to
Oh,
yeah from 3 to 5 actually. So
Okay.
before the
Ooh,
Super
before.
Bowl
all right.
on Animal Planet. Yeah,
That's
The
when you
Walking-
record it and then keep watching it instead of the game. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Precisely. Well, I'm going to be watching the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The
You
Walking
would.
Dead is airing a. I would. The Walking Dead is airing a marathon from 8 in the morning until 4 in the morning the very next day. So
Oh.
if
Cool.
you love your Walking Dead, there need to catch up on the current season.
All right.
There you go. BBC America is airing a Star Trek marathon, the original show, from 9 a.m. to 11 in the evening.
Cool.
Captain Kirk, Spock.
And the
Bravo,
rest.
the Real Housewives of Atlanta marathon from 3 until 9.
I would rather watch the Super Bowl.
I don't know about you guys, but that's where I'll be.
Oh, Zach, we
Maybe
need to
not.
talk. Comedy Central, they're going with We're the Millers, the Jennifer Aniston, Jason Sudeikis
Weird pull,
comedy
but okay.
opus from 1:55 to 4:40, followed by a South Park marathon from 4:40 until 10:30.
Hey, there we go.
All right, that's better.
Do any of you guys get Comet TV?
No.
I don't even know what Comet TV is.
I think it's a network that I also don't get, but if you do, I think it's one of those like if you have like HD TV but you don't have cable, it's one of those like sub channels thingies.
Oh,
Yeah,
one
like,
of those like number twos,
this-
like
Exactly,
5-2
5
or whatever. Yeah.
But Comet TV, they're airing a Mystery Science Theater 3000 marathon, and I'm actually
Oh, that's
kinda-
awesome.
I would love to watch that.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? There's a streaming service. I don't know if it's not Comet TV, but there's one of those services that you could just get free channels. I know there's one of those that has just a Mystery Science Theater 3000 channel. So I guess they're following
nice.
that. I guess they're following that pattern. I think it's called Pluto.tv, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
God.
it's nice to see that on something maybe that I could find on my
I
cable dial.
need that.
But yeah.
Esquire is going with a Parks and Recreation marathon from 3 in the afternoon until 4 in the morning the next day.
Well, they are always playing Parks and Recreation, so I don't think it's really anything
Yeah,
special.
not different from
the
any
little
other
bit
day.
that I've seen of Esquire. It's always Parks and Rec reruns.
Freeform is going with a couple of Harry Potter movies, The Half-Blood Prince, followed by Deathly Hallows Part 1 in the evening.
This could be my chance to finally get into those movies. I tried, but it just hasn't clicked.
And you
Yeah,
call
same.
yourself a nerd.
He's a nerd for other things. He's too much. He's
Yes.
got too much else going on. Can't just
Like
lump in.
when you're
all of
obsessed
You
with
gotta stuff it
something,
all in.
that.
There's no excuse.
it's not enough
The
time in the day.
Kitten Bowl, from 3 until 5 on FXX. The
Oh,
rival to the Puppy
rival.
Bowl.
All right,
That's, yeah, it
okay.
started 4 years ago, I think.
See, now I feel
So,
like they should just put the puppies and the kittens together. Now that would be like this, more like the Super
It's
Bowl
kind of like
because
the
you'd have
Army
to pick your
Navy game.
team.
They
it'll be
do
more
every year.
bloody.
No,
Yeah.
they're little babies. They wouldn't hurt each other, really.
No, well, yeah. There's always that one bad boy in a group of kittens. He's gonna be the rebel. But yeah, Kitty Bowl.
Yeah.
That sounds more up my alley.
And there are more and more and more different alternate programming choices there on almost all the networks. So I'm not gonna go through them all, but those are just some of the notable ones.
I mean, I know that, like, marathoning stuff when you're up against a big television event like the Super Bowl is a
Waving the
thing.
white flag, kind of.
But do you think that, like, they're also trying to incorporate, like, so binge watching of, like, a Netflix or, like, an HBO, kind of thing?
Yeah, that's
Are we-
usually my type of choice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
so binge watching is, like, a big thing now. So is, like, cable trying to get us back into paying for cable, like, with trying to do, like, marathon things. I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird because it's like they want to pull you away from those things where you can binge whatever you want, but it's like, well, if you can't beat them, join them. Let's just play a
Yeah.
marathon of this thing they like.
Right, like, everybody loves Harry Potter, right? We'll just play the shit out of that and it'll be fine.
Yeah. You know what's great about Harry Potter is the fact that it's a never-ending 14-hour story. That's the way people like to consume it. Not on demand. Like that sounds more like a chore than a
Yeah, with all
destination.
some of the good stuff edited out and commercials.
I mean, I'm wondering how much they actually have to take out of Harry Potter. I wouldn't be the expert, but I'm assuming
The later
there's no
ones get a little bit
nipple
more.
exposure or anything like that. Like, oh, Hermione,
We're not
put your
seeing
clothes.
Hermione nude frontal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you guys excited, at least for the Super Bowl halftime show this year? Lady Gaga gagging it up, if you will.
I guess I would like to see what her outfit's gonna be because that's always pretty legendary. But I don't know. I play a lot of Lady Gaga at the weddings that I DJ.
As
That's
you
pretty
would.
much the
Poker
exposure
face.
that I get. So
But are you playing anything new from Lady Gaga?
well, no, not really. The
Exactly.
newer stuff is not quite as dancey, I want to say. I don't know. I haven't really gotten around to hearing all of it, but
Yeah, it's a weird.
No cuts from the Tony Bennett Lady Gaga duet album.
no, not unless we've got like a really diehard fan who wants that to be like her first dance or something. But
Yeah, that's why I thought that was a weird pull. I'm like, oh, Lady Gaga. Is it 2007 or whenever she came out? It just feels like that's like one of the odder choices. Like even somebody like Prince when they had him perform, like okay, he's
got a
not
whole
at the
catalog.
he's not at the forefront of music, but he has a deep catalog to pull from. But it's like,
and he's a talented musician.
yeah, it's like you pull Lady Gaga. It's like, okay, what is her single currently?
right now, yeah,
It's
it's
like,
not-
okay, we have 1 to 1.5 albums of songs that people would want to hear. So it's a strange time to be picking her, but
What were some of you guys' favorite halftime performances in the I guess
the
50
few
year
that maybe
history?
I've watched.
yeah, right. Mm.
Last year we had the glorious Coldplay, Bruno Mars, Beyonce
Nope.
show.
Yeah,
Pass.
like speaking of
Yeah.
like being out of touch, it's like, hey,
Oh well, I mean, who
everybody's
can
talking about
forget the
Coldplay.
Janet Jackson Justin Timberlake debacle? I mean, that was
I was watching that with my mother and my sister in
Yep.
2004, and I remember when
And
that
did they
when that
vomit their
happened.
nachos?
No, but when that happened, when Justin Timberlake pulled like that part of her like top, like I didn't say anything, and I was hoping that like nobody noticed what the hell had happened, and like nobody really didn't say anything and kind of like moved on from that. But I knew exactly what the hell happened, and I remember like I think I went on like the internet on my dial-up modem and
Yeah.
saw it, like, oh yeah, people, they noticed that.
She broke
Oh
the
yeah,
internet before breaking the internet was a thing.
Yeah.
yeah.
It was the boob that was so powerful that it even changed radio, which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But do you guys even like remember like what happened before that? Because I remember it was like the last time they let MTV produce it, and I
Okay,
think was it like,
it's too edgy.
God, it wasn't. It was Justin Timberlake, and it was like Puff Daddy, or who was, I guess it was P Diddy at the time. Who can keep
Yeah.
up with that?
Who can keep?
And then they were
track?
just. It was a pretty shitty show up until that point, and Janet Jackson performed a little bit. She performed a little bit because she had a new album that was coming out
Okay.
in a month or two after that, and then that happened, and the radio industry changed a little bit with the FCC.
Yeah, I think that was the beginning of the
Stuff.
exit of Howard Stern from the radio.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it was weird, and it's odd that in all of that the focus was on Janet as if she was the only one responsible for that. It's like, well, it's Justin Timberlake's song. The lyrics go, "I'm gonna have you naked by the end of this song,"
And this song,
and he
and
pulls.
he did it
Not
right on
planned
cue.
at all. No.
Yeah, like okay, so he wasn't involved in that. He had no knowledge of it. Sure, it only is the most
This
appropriate
piece of
thing.
material that's designed to break away.
Yeah, like okay, that
Well,
was
I-
all Jan. Her boob
I
forced itself
mentioned-
out of its encasement.
I mentioned the halftime show because I have like a CBS Sports.com has like a list of like all of the 50 halftime shows ranked, and like the worst was that Coldplay, Bruno Mars, Beyonce one from last year.
Yeah, really bad.
Yeah, and at number 49 they have the Black Eyed Peas from 2011. I do not remember this one from 2011.
I have no recollection of that because the thing, like being the non-sport fan, I typically hear about these performances, and if anything interests me enough, I'll go back and watch it on YouTube or something. So, like the majority of these, I have no knowledge of.
Yeah.
Like, if I heard Black Eyed Peas performed and it was great, and nah, I still don't care about the Black Eyed Peas. Moving on with my life.
Yeah, I think the last one I tuned into was 2012 when Madonna.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
think
And then
maybe
I just
watched
wanted
them.
to see like, oh, is Madonna still like a thing? And I mean, she's
Yeah, she was in her mid 50s at the time.
Yeah, now instead of choosing Madonna again, they just go with Madonna Light. So
Yeah.
there you
go. Do you guys remember Tony Bennett and Patti LaBelle from 1995?
No.
Why? No, not really.
I don't recall that at all. In 2000, Phil Collins, Christina Aguilera, Enrique Iglesias, and Tony Braxton for the Super Bowl 34 halftime show.
Sounds like something worth watching.
Yeah.
It's a pretty eclectic group of
I think an ensemble
people.
it's one of the better ways to do it outside of like the Coldplay thing. But like, there's no one name now that would pull me in if I was not watching the game. It's like, oh yeah, there's this one person performing. Sure, like I like the Grammy approach to like performances. How the Grammys will do like these just mashups of different types of groups and different genres.
They're so different. Let's put them together and see
I would
what
prefer
happens.
something like that, like the famous Imagine Dragons and Kendrick Lamar collaboration. I like to see things like that on
That was great.
Super Bowl halftime shows.
Yeah, that 2000 Super Bowl, that was the Rams and the Titans, that great ending.
Okay,
I know you guys don't
I'll take your word for it.
talk about. So yeah. Do you guys remember the Blues Brothers, James Brown and ZZ Top from 1997?
No, but
Kind of.
I don't remember it, but that sounds interesting to have a fictional group as one of your halftime performers.
It was
pretty cool.
produced by the Oscar Mayer Company. That's interesting.
They're
I think
known for
it
their
must
great
have been around the
performances.
time where the Blues Brothers 2000 like came out or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because everybody loved the Blues Brothers 2000.
Yeah. Well, John Goodman. You get John Goodman. That's all.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah, it kicked off with like a fake Fox News report about Elwood Blues escaping from the Illinois State Penitentiary.
okay.
So the whole thing was basically just a sort of like promo for the movie.
Okay. I mean,
A much
I wouldn't
more
mind something
simpler
like
time.
that in present day. Like, why can't we have like the Lonely Island perform at the Super Bowl halftime show, or
Yeah, that'd be
Tenacious
good.
D or somebody like that? I would
In
tune in.
I would too,
Yeah.
actually. In 1998, The Temptations, Smokey Robinson, Martha Reeves and the Vandellas, Queen Latifah, and Boyz II Men. I think I vaguely remember this.
Seems
from
like a pull for those older groups, but I guess it was like old meets new. That's interesting.
Yeah, I was like, okay, it's a Motown theme, and then
Exactly,
wait, you
that's
threw
what
me
it
off there. I don't. Yeah.
I mean, Boyz II Men, Motown, Philly. So I guess
Oh,
I,
yeah.
Queen Latifah is the fly in the ointment of that one, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's still.
I'm gonna
like,
read. I'm gonna read the little thing they have here. Everybody loves to dance when Motown comes out at weddings. Isn't that right, Allison?
Yes, it is.
But in a Super Bowl, where John Elway finally came up a winner, nobody remembers this thing. The Temptations, at least what's left of the original members, Smokey Robinson, they're all timeless. But somebody should have left Martha Reeves and the Vandellas back in Detroit, like a heat wave, more like hot flashes. That's kind of mean. You gotta love those. You gotta love those Boyz II Men though, back in their '90s heyday, doing some Motown Philly. But wait, no, End of the Road. Come on, that would have been perfect.
Yeah, there's certain music that's not fit for like a football audience. It needs to be like high energy stuff.
Yeah.
These men smashing into each other and
yeah, like like people aren't snapping their fingers with their greasy nachoed fingers. They can't even snap their fingers.
But like, what does that tell you about like that sort of like society in like the mid to late '80s? How different things were, where you could have something as kind of tame and kind of quaint and kind of like not as sort of like in your face and like it's like something that we would have now with something like a rap or a hip hop sort of group or like a or like something a little bit more controversial. Like you had this like an old like the Temptations and
I mean
Boyz
it's
II
more
Men
eclectic and it
Tony Bennett.
shows a more of a diversity of thought on the part of people booking, but there's still an element of knowing your audience, like
right.
Like that's what a DJ does.
They have to choose, things that everybody is gonna know on a mass scale. So I don't.
All the demos,
right?
Yeah. That's the problem with like doing such promotion and all the production that goes into it, because you can't like if things are going bad and the performance is not catching the people's attention, it's like, well, you can't switch that stuff on the fly. So. Yeah. Like when it goes bad is one of the things that appeals to me. Like I think this could be terrible. Maybe I'll check it out.
You want to see a train wreck? You're sadistic.
So that's part of the appeal to me. Maybe I'll check out Lady Gaga, because if she starts out saying like, "Let's hear one from a new album," like, all right.
Like I don't really need to see you like just at the piano doing a ballad, like
just do poker face.
Yeah, dance, do something.
Yeah. So that
I mean, just
a thing to get my attention.
Can we get the hologram of Michael Jackson or something? Come on.
Yeah, like with the technology we have at our disposal now, we could just have anybody perform at the Super Bowl. Let's have Elvis, Michael Jackson, Tupac, and James Brown.
Yeah.
Ludwig van Beethoven. Beethoven, damn it.
Yeah, all right, sure. But yeah, that's where the future of Super Bowl halftime shows should be. It's just like everybody votes on their favorite artist, dead or alive, and the ones with the most votes, that's who's performing.
Do you want some interesting Super Bowl tidbits?
Sure.
Some quick facts and trivia?
Yeah, lay it on me.
I need something to impress people with Monday morning. Like, I didn't watch the game, but party. Here's this.
8 million pounds of guacamole is consumed on Super Bowl Sunday. Did you guys know that?
No, but are we going to have that same amount since we're getting like blocked on the avocados or whatever from Mexico?
We're going to have it, but it's going to cost 3 times as much.
Yeah.
We gotta have that tariff. Yeah, the guac tax is coming, so maybe those statistics will change
It's like
going
that's
forward.
several swimming pools full of guacamole.
Yeah,
Great for your skin, I hear.
It is.
that's probably the only time
14.
I'll use it because I'm not a fan.
Ah,
Really? It
It,
doesn't. It doesn't have
I've
like a distinct enough taste for me to really hate all that much.
that's one of the things. Like I mean, I may be weird like that, but like texture and taste combinations really throw me off. Like to me, guacamole is like, I mean, if it's done well, it's okay. But I need a lot of stuff to dilute the avocado-ness of it because I don't like the texture or the taste of avocado. It's like eating flavorless mayonnaise, and that doesn't appeal to me.
You are the most neurotic non-Jewish person I've ever met. Zach.
Well, it's how presumptuous of you to assume I'm not Jewish. Do you see the way I'm wearing this hat on my head?
I don't actually because I can't see it.
Well, take my word for it. It is quite far back.
I'll back you up. Yes, it's true.
Nice. 14,500 tons of chips are eaten along with that guacamole each year, each Super Bowl Sunday.
Okay, well, swap out the guac for salsa, and I'm on board.
Cool. Of the top 10 most watched American television programs of all time, 9 of them are Super Bowls.
Which is just so disappointing.
What were you expecting? The Oscars or something?
I would hope would be like the most watched show of all time, finale of Downton Abbey, and then maybe number 10 on the list of Super Bowl. I've lost all faith in humanity.
Sopranos. Yeah, I don't know.
MASH. I think MASH is still one of those top ones. Hasn't been beaten.
Over 700,000 footballs are produced annually for official NFL use, and 72 of them are used for the Super Bowl.
And how many
That's a
of
lot of
those are
pigskins.
deflated?
Only Tom Brady and the Patriots now.
Exactly.
Topical football.
Yeah, topical for what? 4 years ago? I'm on top of it, guys.
It is the second most watched sporting event in the world. More than 100 million people worldwide watch the Super Bowl every year. In fact, the Super Bowl in 2010 unseated the MASH series finale as the most watched show in television history.
There you go.
With over 106.5 million watchers.
I don't understand the appeal to people outside of the country. I mean, obviously there's people who are like Americaphobes or whatever you want to call it, or they're just interested in American culture. But like, who do you root for if you don't live in the country? Like, you just pick the team that has the outfit that you prefer. Hey, let's go Blue Guys.
I guess maybe they can know, but maybe they can, research like, okay, well, nobody really wants Patriots to win because they're always in it. Like, maybe they want to root for the underdog or something. So everybody's going to say, go Falcons.
Yeah.
And you have the whole like Armed Forces Network and, Yeah, I assume that there's some like interest of.
Yeah, I hear the people of Dubai are quite fond of Falcons, so I guess that's who they would root for. But yeah.
Do you guys know how much? We'll take a guess as how much 1 30-second commercial costs at the Super Bowl.
Is it like $3 million or something? I hear the amount goes up all the time.
Yeah, I'm gonna say $5 million.
Ooh, well, both of you are a little above it.
Okay.
Zach was the closest. 2.8 million.
All right.
All right.
What do I win?
Yeah. You win a bag of Doritos.
All right. I wonder how much their commercial will cost this year. That was one of the things that I do make sure to check out after every Super Bowl. It's like, what are those commercials like?
Yeah, most interesting commercials. Although now they feel like they get leaked even before.
They air them during the week on like the internet
weird.
and stuff. So what's the point of? I can watch them all now.
Yeah, it's weird because like I saw like a bunch of like YouTubers were doing like reactions of like the Transformers Super Bowl trailer. It's like, well, it's not a Super Bowl trailer anyway. It's just a trailer.
Yeah.
Like when they re-air it during the Super Bowl, it's not going to be special.
Right.
I guess nothing's special nowadays. No matter if they tried to keep it on lock with leaks and everything, people would have known. Like they would have had like the storyboards of these commercials. Like somebody would have snuck and taken photographs of all that
Yeah.
stuff. So I guess
I'm
that's what it is.
I'm gonna ask you guys a couple of Super Bowl trivia questions.
Trivia.
I'll just do 3 of them.
I'm ready.
Keep this quick. Okay.
I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
You football experts, you. Which team won the first Super Bowl?
No idea.
Take a guess.
The Chicago Irish.
The Chicago. See, now you're not even trying.
I have no idea.
Allison?
No way. I know it was in the 60s, but that's all I know.
It was the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, no shit. Okay, well, don't tell my roommate because she will rub it in your face because she's from Wisconsin. So.
Yeah, I'm trying to help you guys with if you can, if you can talk about how much of a football expert you guys are with these questions.
All right, I'll write that down from anecdotes that I can pull out at special moments.
Which player has won the Super Bowl MVP 3 times?
I don't know. Brady.
That's a good guess, but no.
Okay.
Hingle McCringleberry.
Hingle McCringleberry. What position did he play, Zach?
He was left field.
Left field.
Striker.
The answer is Joe Montana for the 49ers back in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Broadway Joe. I knew that. Right?
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
What and because you guys are doing so poorly, I'll end with this question. What is the name of the trophy for the winner of the Super Bowl?
Heisman?
I think that's college.
Right sport, but wrong
level.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It is the Vince Lombardi trophy.
I've heard that.
Yeah, I know
Okay.
that.
The head coach of the 1966 Packers that were the first team to win the Super Bowl.
Okay.
So did the trophy have no title when they won it?
I assume they got some sort of trophy, but it wasn't called the Vince Lombardi trophy.
You're right.
All right, so yay, football. I'll be the only one knowing what's happening.
Absolutely.
Hey, here's something I'll assume you guys may be knowledgeable in, the Doctor Who.
How dare you stereotype me like that? Did you see the Doctor Who figure behind me?
The current Doctor, number 12, he's not going to be returning at the end of the current season 10.
Why I'm heartbroken.
You're heartbroken. What did you think of him? What do you think of him as the current Doctor, dude?
Well, being that I have not even finished his season, I guess he's be on his 2nd season now. I lost interest after Matt Smith left the show, and not even in the sense that I hated this new Doctor. Yeah, that was the thing for me. It's like not even that I loved Matt Smith so much and that him changing took me off. It was just on a decline to me, from the moment he took the role.
Really?
Yeah, David Tennant was always my favorite, and I liked the fact that the universe was so connected and that they would run into characters over again, but then it seemed to take a hard stop when they went to Matt Smith, and it didn't seem to have broader connection.
I liked the first season that Matt Smith was there in I think it was season 5. I thought that the episodes were strong and and emotional, but I just thought it got progressively worse after that.
Yeah, and it's a thing with Doctor Who. I guess it kind of goes counter to how most British shows work. It seems to be a lot of episodes per season, and they seem to run out of ideas. There's always multiple filler episodes where you could take it or leave it, and you wouldn't really miss out on much.
And Capaldi, he's not the only one that's going to be leaving. Stephen Moffat, the current showrunner for the show, who's been in charge since Matt Smith, he announced that he was leaving about a year ago, and like I think that's to me that's more significant. That's more significant than Capaldi leaving, because I just feel like they just need like a new a new direction,
breath of fresh air.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would like to see a different take.
I do not. I've been meaning to get into it, but we've been doing like all of the Star Treks, me and my husband. So we're currently on Voyager. So
I got into like I went through all the Next Generation episodes within the past couple of years, because BBC America airs them, and now they're airing Voyager. So now I'm starting up with that now. So I feel like I finally understand what all the Trekkies have been talking about.
I know it's really hard to choose between Picard or Janeway being my favorite now. So,
Star Trek is never something that I got into. To me, I just looked at it as the show my aunt watched, because my aunt was always watching Star Trek when I would go over there. So
when it would come on when I was younger, like after watching something else on WGN or whatever was on.
Yeah.
I would like try to get into it, and it was just like over my head at the time. Like, I liked Will Wheaton, but after that, I was just kind of like, no. But now, as an adult, I must say I really enjoy it.
I understand it. It used to come on like Sundays or something, right? Yeah. It was like a syndicated show.
Well, the thing is, it's like every time you'd flip around, it would be like, because they overlap on their years of airing, so it would be like, oh, Next Gen is on, but now Deep Space Nine is on, but now Voyager's on. It's like, where the heck is there so much Star Trek on TV right now?
Yeah, I feel like
now there's none.
Yeah.
Well, there's about to be,
there's one coming this year, right?
On CBS.com, I think.
Yep.
Which is a mistake. They need to stop trying to sell that thing. Just put it on TV.
But the Good Wife spinoff is starting up next week or the week after on CBS.com.
I can't wait.
Yeah. I'm interested because
going to be called The Bad
Rose
Wife.
Leslie at Egret is going to be on.
The Bad Husband.
Bad Mistress.
All right. I'm excited.
So who would you like to see take over for Peter Capaldi as number 13, I guess?
Idris Elba. I mean, I don't know. People always want to put him in something. I have no idea. There's not like anybody who I'm looking at like, okay, you look like you would look good in a blazer.
Who's a hot young British actor?
Yeah, who looks good
James
in a blazer
McAvoy.
With a?
No, he's Scottish.
Yeah.
I
mean,
Peter Capaldi is Scottish.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Other.
Then I'll stick with James.
UK people.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't
there's
know.
There's a big push for a first female doctor. Right
yeah,
now.
why not? Like, you tried another old man, and people lost interest. So shuffle it up. If you can regenerate into any person just randomly, why wouldn't it happen to be a woman every now and then?
Yeah. Haley Atwell, who was Agent Carter, she would be down for it.
Hey, I'll sign on for that 1,000%. I love Haley Atwell.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. Look at your enthusiasm. I mean, you're like, on board.
I mean, I'd just be excited for anything with Haley Atwell. Her episode of Black Mirror was excellent. I loved Agent Carter.
Didn't love Conviction, the show that she's doing on ABC right now.
That was just like a mistake. Isn't she like playing an American?
Boring procedural. Yeah, she's like an American who was like the daughter of like, I don't know if it was like the president or something. She was like
a party girl, and then this is her redemption as being like.
And now she's running some team that's like helping like people who
social
are
justice
unlawfully. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Network TV.
Yeah, that was a mistake. Ending Agent Carter was a big mistake.
Speaking of network TV, did any of you guys see Powerless, the new sitcom on NBC about what was it about a group of people that?
Yes, it's a weird premise. They're basically.
I saw it, but the premise is hard to explain.
Yeah, it's in the world of DC Comics where there's superheroes and villains fighting, but these are just regular humans who work at Wayne Security. So they work at they make products to help the public in this world of superheroes. So it's,
because the world is the city is always getting destroyed and people are always being inconvenienced by like the superheroes and the villains.
Apart.
Oh, that's a funny premise then. Yeah. Okay.
It's a sitcom, a single camera sitcom.
Yeah, because there's like a Marvel Comics equivalent of that. It's like called Damage Control. In that comic, it's just about the people who clean up after superhero fights. I mean, it's kind of technically what ends up being the case on Agents of Shield, also.
Right. Yeah.
But
Yeah. Vanessa Hudgens is the star of the show.
Oh, Disney. Okay.
Yeah. It's weird that it's not on ABC with her being the lead of it. But
Danny Pudi from Community.
Community.
Abed is on there. Ron Funches, very funny comedian.
So I saw it. Pilots are always a different story than series as
it's
a whole.
Hard to judge based on the pilot.
Yeah, but
unless it's just god awful.
Yeah, and this one it wasn't god awful, but it wasn't something.
It was fine.
That made me like guarantee that I'm always gonna revisit this. It's not like gonna be my first choice of viewing when it comes on.
I feel like I have to watch the second episode to see like work because like they shoot those pilots like months in advance before they do like the second one.
Episode could have a completely different cast. And
exactly.
It's like, oh, there's like, okay, Vanessa Hudgens has been replaced by Ashley Tisdale. Nobody's mentioned it. Is this bothering anyone else?
Goes along, yeah.
But I thought that like the show, like you mentioned, like Allison mentioned, it's a funny premise. I like some of the jokes and stuff. I just
how do you build on that? Like, what's gonna keep you coming back?
I'm just kind of like thinking of like, is there enough here for me to like
Well, the thing is, have you guys ever seen the show Better Off Ted?
Maybe
I know of it. Yeah.
Okay.
That was like 10 years. 10.
Yeah.
Like 8, 9 on ABC.
Yeah, it was one of those shows of like I feel like ABC has so many of these now, but it was one of those shows that like it had
canceled
I guess
too
a
soon?
decent following. It had 2 seasons, but like the people who like go back and revisit it really like it.
Portia de Rossi was on that show.
Yeah. So the Powerless gives me a lot of vibes that remind me of that because like Better Off Ted was similar concept. They weren't like in a world of superheroes, but it was like a quirky office comedy that had like no limitations as far as like there was supernatural stuff going on. This company, it was just like a big global conglomerate company that they just made all kinds of products. So they would make like death rays and different weird like crazy experiments. So that like Powerless reminded me a lot of that. So I could see where they could go if they get into the characters and like build up the attachment there. But so I'll check it out. One thing that does bother me about it is like it's pulling from the characters of DC Comics, but it's not in the like the superhero universe of like the Flash and Arrow and all those.
Oh yeah,
shows.
I'm kind of excited for Legion. That X-Men one that's coming
That's
out.
getting some pretty good reviews. I'm looking forward to
that one
watching
looks really good. That starts this month, right?
Yeah, I think next week.
It starts soon. Yeah.
Okay, great. Because I've seen the commercials over and over again while watching it. Even back from when they were doing the People versus O.J. Simpson, that's when they started showing those commercials. And then I was watching Atlanta, it kept showing. It was like, when is this show going to start?
Yeah.
So
Aubrey Plaza.
I'm excited for that. So, and I think that's supposed to be connected with the movie universe of the X-Men, which they have so much trouble juggling their own timelines. I'm wondering if this will ever actually be connected.
Right. I kind of wish it was just a standalone because, like, the premise, like the schizophrenia and whatever, like makes him able to have different powers, right? So, or like his different.
I think so.
Yeah, his different personalities have the different powers. So like, I feel like that they could do so much with that.
Oh yeah,
and it could just be its own thing. You don't have to like really bring in like, I don't know.
Yeah.
All the other X-Men characters.
Yeah, it like bogs it down.
Wolverine.
Yeah, more Wolverine because we need more Wolverine.
I mean, like
I have a fever and the cure is more Wolverine.
Schnicked. Like the new like Logan movie. I mean, I'm interested in just like to see like how they're gonna like end this whole series, but like
let it finally be rated R.
Exactly. Like I'm a little fatigued with the whole Hugh Jackman of it all. So I'm kind of happy to see it.
I mean, I never really checked out the previous Wolverine movies because that's the
The
thing
Wolverine, the second one is actually it's pretty good, but
I've
the
heard
first one was
that.
so terrible. It's not
Yeah,
saying much.
I've heard that because it was like it was one of those things where it's like I was kind of excited, but then I could kind of see the writing on the wall at the first Origins movie. So like I'll wait to see what people say about it. It was so bad I just never uh, decided to check it out.
Yeah. You don't have to watch it.
Yeah.
You can get. What are the handfuls of shows that you, Allison, that you look forward to watching each week? Like what are the?
Oh man, well,
Oh.
I've definitely got on the sappy family drama This Is Us. NBC,
I've seen that. It reminds me of that show Parenthood.
Yes, it's kind of a perfect replacement for Parenthood.
Okay.
Yeah, I think TV needs a show like that.
I've never
he pulls
checked
on
it
the
out.
heartstrings, you know. And I'm a really big fan of Milo Ventimiglia. I never really watched Gilmore Girls, but that's where he pretty much most people would know that's where he's from. But
I only know from Heroes.
Oh, and Heroes. Yeah, I guess I never really watched Heroes. I watched the British kind of almost version of that called Misfits. You guys know about that?
Misfits.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, that was really good.
Misfits. The problem with that is like they killed like a major character every season, and then it was just like it's a different show like every season almost.
Yeah, I feel like they kind of made it too much like Skins, which was that like teen drama where it would be like there's 2 seasons per like the same cast, but then it would like go on from there. So so I've been watching This Is Us and crying, getting that out every week. And like I said, we've been doing a lot of Voyager. But I've started Young Pope, the HBO series with Jude Law as the Pope. And I really like that. It's kind of weird and surreal. And I'm only on episode 3. I think they're like about 6 in, and they keep calling it a limited series, not like a regular series. So I don't know if it's just going to be 1 season or what.
That's one of those cop outs where they say like, okay,
they want to get
that
miniseries Emmy nomination.
Right? Yeah, that's totally what it is. But Jude Law is the perfect like asshole in it to be the Pope.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like is the show like about him? Just he's the Pope and he's doing like these shady things and like. Well, he's the Pope. You can't criticize him.
Right. Well, it seems like they're trying to figure out like how he would have gotten like elected or whatever, chosen or whatever. It seems like there's just like something going on like beneath the scenes there, but I haven't gotten to the reveal yet. So yeah.
So it just starts out with him as the Pope, and like the mystery is how he got there.
The smoke it's like comes out of the chimney or whatever.
Right, exactly. Yeah, like he's been declared Pope, and like the first two episodes are kind of about him like trying to figure out what he's going to say for his first address.
Okay.
And he has to bring in Diane Keaton, who was like a nun that like raised him because he was an orphan. Yeah. So she's like his like right hand person. I don't know. It's interesting. I like it.
Nice. I might check that out. But yeah, like I feel like I'm still in limbo of like getting back into my weekly shows. Like the DC shows have finally come back.
Arrow came back.
Yeah, I'm still I still haven't got back into those. I think I watched the first episode of Flash that came back. I've been consistently watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. every week. Just it's weird that like there's always the battle between Marvel and DC. I feel like DC is winning on TV, but they're so oversaturated that I think it's starting to go on the decline because it feels like a chore to like if I were to watch all of those CW superhero shows every week, it just would feel like an assignment. Like I have to consciously think like, okay, maybe I'll try to catch up on Legends of Tomorrow.
I feel like that's their thing though. Like, okay, so my husband is a big comic book nerd and reads a lot of stuff too, and like he'll tell me he has to buy like these one-offs of other series because it's like woven in somehow.
Yeah, it's so like missing something.
Yeah, you have to like read something like a title that you don't normally read because it pertains to what you do read. So I feel like that's what they're doing with these shows too.
Yeah, but that's one of the things that turned me off about comics. Like, I heard about how great the Marvel event Civil War was, and it was like, oh, let me buy the Civil War comic book. Like, oh no, there's like 50 of them. It's like every character has their own little section of the story, and then this feeds into this other person. Like, well, I don't read Wolverine comics. I read Spider-Man. Well, Spider-Man did this one thing in the Wolverine issue, and it's critical to his next issue. Like,
yeah,
shit.
exactly.
Like, you give me a roadmap for this stuff?
Before Civil War came out last year, I bought like on Amazon. I bought like the actual like hardcover edition of like
it.
Exactly for like $15. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only way I've checked out comics is like getting the graphic novel versions where they just put volumes together.
Get all the issues.
The trade paperbacks.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. That's the proper term.
That's the lingo.
Let's get it right, okay?
Yeah, that's the thing where whenever I walk into a comic book store, I just feel like out of place. Like, oh, I'm not in the world. It's like they're in the back, like playing like card games and stuff. It's like
you're just there to look at the figurines. It's fine.
Yeah, it's just okay. You people live
They're
here?
not dolls. They're
figures.
Yeah, I get all
for your shelf. Yeah, right.
Most of them I got actually from subscription boxes, but yeah, it's just like a lot to catch up with when you try to enter these nerd worlds.
Yeah, and then there's another DC movie that's coming out next week on a Friday that you have to catch up on.
I haven't even thought about what is this that you're talking about.
It's the Lego Batman movie.
Oh yeah, okay. This has the potential to be one of the best DC movies in recent history.
One of the best Batman movies.
Yeah.
Probably.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Is it Will Arnett? Is that who's doing the voice?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fresh off of his performance in the Lego movie.
Yeah.
One of the best parts of that movie.
Yeah.
His own spinoff. So I'm looking forward. Next Friday is gonna be a great day for movies, man.
John Wick 2. Okay.
John Wick 2 and the Lego Batman movie. It's gonna be a double feature day.
But which pet of his is going to be killed in this movie? I mean, I guess you have to do a cat because the dog died in the first one.
But then he got a new one at the end of the first one. He had the little dog. Have you seen John Wick? I'm sure, right?
I haven't.
No, I haven't either.
But I hear lots of good things. So
yeah,
it is on my list. So.
Yeah,
it's on the list.
Of recent movies that involve dogs dying, John Wick is the one that I might watch. I'm definitely not watching A Dog's Purpose.
I cried through that trailer, so there's no way that I can even watch that movie.
I cried through the footage of a dog nearly being drowned.
The drowning dog. Yeah.
And apparently that scene doesn't even play out that way in the movie. I haven't seen the movie, but
he's rescuing his
it's like
his owner policeman
there's no
guy.
Scene of
because he's like a police
submerged.
Dog. Yeah, at that point.
So it's I would not be checking that out. There's a movie called Wiener Dog that looks like a much better version of that story.
I was supposed to go see that. Is that a Todd Solondz movie?
Yeah, because because you've mentioned Todd Solondz.
Right, when you were telling me about Greasy Strangler.
Yeah.
Oh, Greasy Strangler. Still haven't seen it yet, Zach.
See, that's an inside reference for the people listening or watching the podcast. I've been trying to recommend this movie, but I can't get anyone to watch it.
Oh, I'm totally gonna watch it. I just couldn't watch it last night before
the
preparing for today.
Issue.
But I'm interested. I'm into it. I'm gonna watch it. It's very John Waters, which I love. John Waters weirdness. So
subversive.
Yeah.
As one of the people from Red Letter Media, the YouTube channel, they were reviewing it. It's like, is it one of those weird sex movies? Like, I guess kind of, kind of, sort of.
Like it should be playing at the music box where all the midnight movies or something. I feel like that would work well.
There are half-naked men in poor shape.
You haven't got it. Yeah, you haven't got it far enough into the movie. There's whole naked men.
I was just looking up after I watched the trailer, there was a whole best moments or whatever, 3 minutes of clips, and I went for it, and
if you want an indication. Yeah, full frontal, probably, hopefully, prosthetic nudity.
Scrotal-rific.
If you want an indication of how crazy the movie is, just look at the album cover of the soundtrack, and it'll tell you all you need to know.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. But moving on.
On that note, Valentine's Day is on the 14th, like it is every year.
Yep.
And there is
Speaking of
there's a
nudity.
speaking of nudity, there's a Japanese novelty store called Village Vanguard that's putting out some new products in preparation for the big day.
Right.
Chocolate organ, body organ, and poop silicone molds.
Hey.
Molds that you can use to create poop shaped chocolate and jelly molds and stomach and heart molds. Yeah, it's isn't that something that you want to buy for your significant other? A big chocolate mold of your
poop.
stomach, or a physical heart, or a coil of poop.
Yeah, especially, if you were a doctor or something, you could use those all year round and just have themed parties.
Yeah. So is the heart, like, I'm trying to follow the theme here. Like, is the heart mold in the shape of an actual human heart, or is it just like the cartoon
like anatomical heart?
Yeah.
Or,
yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. It's all human organs here.
Okay.
People.
So I guess it follows a pattern. So it's like you have the heart, then the stomach, then what comes out
lungs.
of the stomach.
You could play a really, really fun game of Operation, it sounds like.
A tasty game.
Yeah.
Don't touch the sides. And you can eat it when you pull it out.
Yeah.
Yep. The loser gets the poop. That's the rule.
But nobody
maybe
loses
the
because
winner,
they all
Tony.
taste the same. Oh yeah. Nobody loses.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I will not be eating a poop mold of chocolate.
It's all in your head. It's not actual poop.
I have trauma from Caddyshack related nightmares of chocolate /
That was just a
poop
candy bar.
Yeah, I think they revisited that joke on the Fox show The Mick. They had a recent episode at a country club where they just blatantly stole that whole routine, throwing a candy bar in a pool.
That show.
It's not bad. If you've ever watched It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, it's pretty much her character from there being forced to look after some rich kids. Fish out of water.
Wackiness ensues.
A D out of water story, as it were. But yeah.
So anything else interesting happen to you guys? Or yeah.
I went and saw Adam Ant on Tuesday. That was really fun.
That he was performing.
Yeah, it's my third time seeing him. He came like a couple years ago to the Cubby Bear, because apparently that used to be a really punk venue.
And a long time ago.
Yeah, and then he played the first show at Concord when that place opened. And then this time was just at the Vic, and it was really, really cool. Although his guitarist had just died like the week before when they started out on tour. Yeah, so it was a very like somber kind of event, but it was a lot of fun. He's like my all-time favorite, so I had to go.
He soldiered through.
Cool.
Yeah.
Tove Lo is going to be performing at the House of Blues. She's the Swedish pop singer.
Yeah,
so
we should all get high all the time and go see her.
Yes, that's her hit song.
Yeah, that's really all I know from her. I think.
Yeah.
I mean,
she's on a lot of like EDM type of music, so.
Okay, where she probably does not get the credit for being the artist on the song.
It's always seems to featuring.
Which is weird. It always takes me back to the fact that Rihanna won Best Male Artist at the Video Music Awards because of her collaboration with I forget whatever the producer's name, Calvin Harris. But yeah, so I don't have any concerts to report. I'm not hip in that way.
I do have tickets to go see the Zombies in is it March or April? I think April. Yeah.
Cool.
Nice.
That'll be fun.
I'm a fan.
If they're not like totally on their deathbed or whatever.
I mean, that'd be appropriate for zombies, right?
Right. Oh, true.
Yeah, they don't die.
All right. So yeah, I think we don't have any more news tidbits because I want to stay away from Donald Trump stuff. Would you happen to be a wrestling fan?
Who do you guys got in the Super Bowl? tomorrow.
Oh, I'm just gonna root Falcons because underdogs, right? So
yeah, go Falcons. I have family in Atlanta, so I'll go with that.
Allison, that is how people like Donald Trump get elected president.
Oh yeah.
Underdog.
No, but I mean, like Falcons have. This is like their second time in the Super Bowl, right?
I'm rooting for them too, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just sick of Tom Brady and the Patriots, and like Robert Kraft is like a Trump guy, and that whole stuff, and like
yeah.
Tom Brady is a Trump supporter, so.
Yeah, that's one of those that I wasn't shocked to hear about. I was like, yeah, of course. But yeah, as we tend to do towards the end of these podcasts, Tony, do you want to touch on the big wrestling show from last week?
Oh, big wrestling. Did you watch any of the Royal Rumble last Sunday, Allison?
I do not care for wrestling, so no. I mean, if you want to show me some old footage of Jake the Snake and the Hulk and all that stuff,
nice.
Yeah,
great. But I don't keep up with what's going on.
Randy Macho Man Savage.
Yes.
Well, the only thing that you really need to be aware of is that a lot of people don't like this guy named Roman Reigns, and happily he did not win the Royal Rumble last week. So.
No, but he was the out of the 30 people that came out for the Rumble, he was the last one to come out, and people were expecting someone else, and they were not happy when his music started playing.
Yeah, so if you want I don't know how much you'll learn from this, but if you want a good kind of entry point to the mood of the wrestling fan base, you should just look up. There's a YouTube compilation of people reacting to the number 30 entrant in the Royal Rumble, because everybody's expecting. There's a few different people that people were expecting to be surprise entrants, and they were not pleased with who actually came out.
I have one wrestling question. Sure. That kid from the real world, the Miz, is he still a wrestler?
Yeah,
yes, he is.
Okay, how does he do? Do people
like
him?
Was he like number 12 or?
He was in there pretty early. He's actually there's weird. He's had an interesting arc to his career, because he was if you watched him on The Real World, he's a huge fan of The Rock, and he was always just he
doing
pretty
poses
much,
and
he always had a wrestling persona on The Real World.
Yeah.
So he got into the business through this competition called Tough Enough, and he was, from what I hear, is that he was mercilessly bullied, just pretty much for being a fan and making his way into the show. So he had an interesting arc. He got to a point where he won the championship, and for years until kind of recently, he was just a guy in the background who wasn't really doing much.
Interesting.
Yeah, and now he's having a renaissance where he's back towards the forefront of the show, and he's doing great work. I am very
entertained by the Miz. I like
he's doing great work now.
Good talker. He's very good at being an irritating heel, because he's such a cocky, douchey guy, and that plays into his character.
Yeah,
as I'm sure you remember from the Real World.
He's really leaned into that. So his character now is basically this person who's a delusional Hollywood A-lister, and he uses that as much as he can.
Yeah, he's the Marine.
Battery's dying.
All right. But I think we're about ready to wrap up, unless you had any other things you wanted to touch on before we left.
I don't. I am actually about to go get my hair done, so thanks for having me on, you guys.
All
right. Do you have anything you want to plug, social media or anything else for the people listening or watching?
Oh, well, so I still sub on Chirp Radio, the Chicago Independent Radio Project. I just did an interview with a local group called So Pretty, and that should be up on our podcast section, I want to say at the end of this month, so February 28th or something like that. Cool. So keep an eye on that, and I'll be doing hopefully more local band interviews that'll be coming up in this 2017.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
I
Tony.
want to know what what she's gonna go for in terms of her hair.
Oh, I'm going back to red. I had red hair about 6 years ago.
Cool.
Both
I
my
missed
grandmas
that.
had red hair. Yeah, well, hey, you'll see it now.
All right.
Cool.
So yeah, I got a lot of compliments back then, and I don't know. It's hard. Red is hard to upkeep. It just fades really quickly.
Yeah.
So
it gets an orange tinge at some point.
Yeah, it gets a little brassy, is how they
Alright.
say. So we'll see. I just need a change. I've been blonde for the last 6 years, so I need something else. I've been like every hair color that's like except for like blue and green or something. So
That's next.
yeah, eventually. I don't know. Is that appropriate in your 30s? I don't know.
I mean, as long as you dress like a woman, then you'll be fine.
Nice. Bringing it all full circle.
Call
All
back.
right.
Full circle.
All right, Tony. What are your social media details for everybody to hit you
At
up?
Anthony Hoffman on Facebook and Twitter, at Anthony Hoffman, and on Instagram, and you can find me at Tony Hoffman Chai. That's Chai spelled CAHI, like Chicago. Tony Hoffman Chai.
All right. And I'm on Twitter at Zach from Chicago. That's ZAC from Chicago. I'm on YouTube, youtube.com/Zach Hughes. You can follow the podcast on Twitter at Frustrated Grad and on YouTube at youtube.com/FrustratedGrads. And check out our Facebook page as well. Also, listen to the podcast on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher. And remember, if you only see the 10 most recent episodes on the iTunes feed, anything prior to that would be on the YouTube channel in video form. So that's it for this episode of the Frustrated Grad podcast with our very special guest, Alli K. So thanks for watching if you're watching, and thanks for listening. And that's all you get for today.
Go Falcons.
Hi, guys.
Woo woo.
Bye.